Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light tarot, astrology and spirituality. How are you? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. I want to start off this morning by thanking, I checked my post box and I found some lovely cards and messages, supportive messages and a gift of a tarot deck, a CD, a book, some postcards. It's been really lovely. Thank you very much. And I just want to say thank you to Linda. I've received your gift. Also to Catherine. I've received your gift. And these are all just marked with thank you. And they are just in the spirit of generosity and gift giving, and I do appreciate it. And to everyone in the past, particularly over Christmas, New Year, who took the time to put a little note together, thank you. I certainly don't expect it. I don't. It's just, I'm humbled by it. Thank you so much. Also to Donna, I've received your gift, and to Kathleen, I've received your gifts. Thank you so much. Okay, all right, let's get on with today. You're waiting for my reaction on the debate. Well, what can I say? But they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets. Hilarious. You should see the memes that are floating around social media today. I want to say with the debate that I did predict that Harris would win. I actually, some of you might think, well, that's not a hard prediction to make. Not necessarily. Donald Trump has been fairly cunning in his time during his debates over the years, and nothing can be taken for granted. However, I went one step further, and this is something I don't usually do. I put Harris wins the debate. Unequivocally, I put it in the headline of the video. No question mark, no doubt, no ifs, buts, or maybes. I put it out there. And of course, when you do that before something has happened, you take a risk. But I was so sure that she would outperform, and she did. So we're going to read today how is the former president, convicted felon, Donald Trump feeling. Also want to address something very, very quickly. In the description of my channel, I talk about that this is a pro-democracy channel. Okay, so it's not about whether I'm left, right, or in the centre or whatever. I'm very much an independent voter. However, I have been, and I say this again, absolutely gobsmacked by what has happened in the US in, first of all, electing someone like Donald Trump to the presidency, and then now supporting him. So this is more about what I see as someone who should never be let anywhere near power. Now you can call that bias, you can call it whatever you like, but he's been very clear about his anti-democracy policies, taking away rights, and so I see this more as a bit of self-righteousness here, a little bit of, fighting the good fight. And so you take it how you see it. I've got a pretty good accuracy rate on this channel, despite what you might think of me. And I've got a lovely bunch of viewers, a very generous, loyal and supportive viewers. And so be what it is. It is what it is. If you don't like the channel, you don't have to stay and watch it. All right, so let's get going. I want to focus on the debate. I also want to see if Donald Trump will ever be sentenced to jail for the crimes he has committed. Either has committed, will commit. Let's just see. His sentencing was held over from September the 18th to November the 26th. We're just going to see. Not even focusing on November the 26th. We're just going to blanket out there. Will he ever be sentenced to jail in his lifetime? All right. I have had a question. Will there be a terrorist attack in London? I think the question was phrased September or October. We'll just say before the end of the year. Um, the reason I picked this up is because, I think someone's asking, and the UK has just cut down on its arms exports to Israel. We saw what happened in Germany just before the election. You had a terror attack. And so I just want to say that there are some nefarious forces that may be looking like it is, giving people, the idea to blame a certain group. But do we know who's actually behind these sorts of attacks and what their motivation is? So this is why I picked this question up. Let's take a look. We already know that there's a lot of nefariousness at play in politics and against politicians. And we see that with the former president of the United States actually admitting on television during the debate that he has spoken to Putin since he's left office. And we know that, I think it was PBS, carried a story about Trump telling Netanyahu not to accept a ceasefire deal. Now, this is all against the Logan Act, as I understand it. Maybe that's the question. Is he ever going to be charged for it? We'll look at, if we've got time, we'll look at that as well. I talked about earthquakes in the last reading. I'm still getting a fairly strong feeling that there's going to be those increased earthquakes. My question concerned Australia. I said, would there be another major earthquake in Australia? And I got the fairly unequivocal answer that there would be. I think I said major. There was another earthquake, coincidentally, in a mining district in Western Australia. Another one. So there's been earthquakes in a mining district in New South Wales and now in WA. Interesting. But we'll ask why there's this increase in seismic activity across the world, and will it continue to increase? If I've got time again, I want to take another look at the Senate, because every time I read, I get the Democratic Party will take the Senate. I don't know, like I'm going against the expert opinion where they're saying it's going to be very difficult for the Democratic Party to hold the Senate, yet my cards are always the same. It's a yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's get started today. Also, thank you to, in the interests of democracy across the world, thank you to the viewer who sent me Kamala Harris, Vice President. She's currently Vice President, now the presidential candidate for the upcoming election. Thank you to those that sent the cup. And let's have a drink out of it, out of my tea, English breakfast tea. All right, I'm using the Lux Tarot, the Tarot Grand Lux by Cairo Marchetti, and also the new deck that I was gifted, the Guardians of the Night Tarot. Okay, where are we going to start? We'll start with the debate. That's the most current. All right, the debate. I want to see how... I'm very tempted to use the kipper. Well, maybe we'll get that out later. All right. How is the former president, convicted felon, found liable of rape and of massive business fraud, facing fines, facing sentencing? How's he going to... how's he feeling now after really getting his backside handed to him by Kamala Harris? Let's see. All right. How's Donald Trump feeling post-debate? How's Donald Trump feeling post-debate? How's Donald Trump feeling post-debate? How's Donald Trump... He's got a big blown up picture of his crowds and he's pointing to them. He might do that. Okay, we've got the Lovers. The Lovers card, that's Gemini. That, as you know, Trump is a Gemini. The Lovers, relationships, his base. And then we get the Four of Cups. So disappointment, but there's one cup remaining. Okay, so he's knocked a bit. And in fact, I got the impression that he has a secret respect for the competency of Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. But he's disappointed. He's lost 3 cups, but there's one remaining. And that's why I said I took a risk with my prediction, which thankfully was right, by putting it in the headline, no doubts she was going to win. He's disappointed, but you can't ever underestimate him. All right, so we get the King of Swords at the foundation of the reading. Prosecution charges. Okay, let's see. His mind is on the upcoming, most likely the DC case. The Queen of Cups is in the past. Queen of Cups is self-care, can also be a woman, can also be something being let out of the bag. Oh, he may be thinking about the Logan Act. He may be thinking, well, hang on a minute. I admitted I was talking to Putin. Okay, we get the 9 of coins. So again, fundraising. He's got his eye on the on money, on what he can do to fundraise. It's always at the back of his mind, but he's worried here about a particular court case. Now we have the 7 of Cups. And of course you already hear him say, I won, and there's a poll saying 92% that thought I won the debate. Well, that was I think on a social media platform, one of those polls you do, and it was a right-wing MAGA that did it with the right-wing MAGA followers. Anyway, it's spinning the web. Okay, so it's also his confusion. Which was on display. If he can fall for a post from a right-wing MAGA that says they're eating the pets in Springfield, Ohio, and then literally regurgitate that on the national stage, what else would he fall for? He displayed real weakness there, and he was fact-checked. Thank you, ABC. CNN, Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, you should still be ashamed of yourself. ABC, you did the right thing. You fact-checked in real time. You moderated the debate. Okay, the 8 of coins. So this is the skill here. I think he is tipping his hat privately to Harris. And then we get the Emperor card, control. Okay, President. Right here and now. Despite what pollsters might, certain pollsters might, the spin they might put on it, Vice President Harris is she's still ahead in the polls. I talked about not being complacent because it is close according to the polls. So hopes and fears, he knows he's got to come up with something else, and that's that cup that he's looking at in the sky. There's still something else he can do. So we have the 10 of coins. This is money. This is legacies. This is inheritance. This is big business, big funders. Why are they here? And then we get an inevitability. The judgment card. That's karmic. Money, inevitability around money. We get the temperance card, moderation. Okay, so he's worried now. I think VP Harris and Walsh have taken something. Did I read $1 billion in campaign donations? That's what he's more worried about. He's more worried about the money, and you could see him embracing a little bit of fake moderation. But we just get abuse. We just get an abuse of power, and then we get new starts. So it's very, very clear the cards want me to go to the new era that is coming up. Now, I know you can say, oh, this one said this and this one predicted that, and how do I know? Well, you don't know, except my political predictions have been correct. In 2020, in the UK election, in the EU elections, I just keep going with that. The last Australian elections, you really have to judge who's accurate and who's not. But this spread is, he's worried. He's worried about the money. He's worried about his performance. He's worried about a particular political criminal case. He's worried that she actually might have a chance of becoming president. So, in a way, he's taken a step back. I'm not going to say he's in awe of her, but he's now knowing who he's fighting. And he's now respecting that. Now, underneath the pack, we get weariness, the Nine of Wands, and we get the Knight of Wands trying to, motivate himself. He's just not looking or sounding motivated. We get the Six of Swords moving on, and then we get the Three of Swords, heartbreak. And in a way, okay, he's worried that the donors are going to abandon him. He's worried he will be betrayed. He's worried that his power is failing. But most of all, he's worried that with that will come less money, less support from the business world. And he in himself knows she's got a real shot at becoming the first female president, Madam President of the United States. Even he is acknowledging that. But yeah, he feels let down. He feels let down. He'd be looking for people to blame. Who prepared him? Oh yes, that would have been Tulsi Gabbard, once a Democratic Party member and candidate in 2020. She prepared him. Probably won't be doing that again. All right, that's how she's feeling. Let's go to how he's feeling. Let's, personally, intuitively, I don't think there's going to be another debate. He won't debate her again. Okay. He'll probably throw down the gauntlet and say, come on Fox News and debate me. Come on Fox and I'll agree to that, but I won't agree to anything else. But the bottom line is it's never coming to debate her again. All right, let's go. Will he ever be sentenced? Will the former president, convicted felon, convicted by jury of his peers, it's not the judge or the Democratic Party that convicted him, it's a jury in a court of law, will Trump ever be convicted of a crime he's already been convicted of a crime. Will he ever be sentenced to jail in his lifetime? Will Trump ever be sentenced to jail in his lifetime? Will Trump ever be sentenced to jail in his lifetime? So we get the Hierophant, we get the Supreme Court. Interesting. And then we get something coming to fruition in time. See, all these cases go up before the Supreme Court, and we get the Tower card. So that tells me that things are going to be coming undone. It's not pleasant. In the past, we've got death, the end of something. So likely, he may well pass away. I'm just going to put it like that before he gets to prison. We get the deals made. Here we go. The deals made. That's in the sky. And we get the Knight of Cups. His loyal base, the MAGAs, etc. We get the Three of Swords in the here and now. Heartbreak, betrayal. Interesting. Someone asked me, when will the hold ever loosen from his supporters and the people that he's put in certain places, the deals that have been done. It will happen when he starts to lose his political power. Is he starting to lose his political power? Yes. Can he survive another presidential run loss? No. We get the Emperor card, control, the presidency. Like, he sees this, his future's so tied up to winning in November 2024. So we get the high anxiety, the Nine of Swords. He's certainly anxious about going to jail. The outcome card is the Fool card, new starts. That's a yes, but it's clarified by the Devil. So, interesting. Two major arcana outcome cards. The Fool card is a yes. The Devil card is his ability to keep evading justice. And there we go, the Lovers. Okay, so Spirit wants me to take it this far. It is possible. It is possible that he will. But it's also possible that he evades. He evades justice in some way. And then we get the Queen of Cups. That's that woman. And the Six of Coins, loans, debts. And we get the Nine of Coins, payoffs, money. He's got a lot of judges. I'm just going to be fairly forthright. He's got a lot of judges in his pocket. Here's someone weighing up their options. It's manipulation. It's perhaps moving, running, doing a runner. I think he still feels he's got strength. He still feels he's got the ability to evade jail. And, we've seen how that plays out. I'm going to say there's a distinct possibility that he passes away before he ever gets to jail. And that the page is turned on this era. And perhaps by then it won't matter. Okay. Yeah. He appeals it all the way again. He's likely going to be sentenced to jail. It's an appeal that goes all the way to the Supreme Court. That takes time, and it may be his mortality might beat that clock. All right. So don't worry. You don't need to worry about that. The universe, karma, it all gets taken care of. The ledger's always even in one way or another. Okay, so where are we going now? Will there be a terror attack? All right, let's see. Will there be a terror attack in London? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to ask the question. A viewer has asked it. Will there be a terror attack in London before the end of the year? Will there be a terror attack in London before the end of the year? Certainly there was a lot of violence in the race riots, which coincidentally happened just after Sir Keir Starmer became president. All of a sudden, the violence erupted. Right-wing extremists, not even living in the UK, were driving through social media, driving the incendiary rhetoric. Okay. Will there be a terrorist attack in London before the end of the year? Will there be a terrorist attack in London before the end of the year? It's like I'm seeing tunnelling underneath something, perhaps with an explosive. Will there be a terrorist attack in London before the end of the year? Terrorist attack in London. Okay, so we get the Ace of Cups, overflowing emotion, the seeds of emotion, and we get the King of Coins, business. Okay, King of Coins, Virgo, Earth energy, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so these are all yes cards, but it's almost like it's tied to this. Why do we fight so hard against someone who has already said they want to be a dictator, admires dictators, responsible for taking away the rights of others? This energy is global. And I'm seeing that there's a connection between what's happening in the US and what is happening in the UK. The past, the Page of Cups, young person, can be surprises. And then we get the Ace of Coins. Someone's paid to do this. Could be a young person. Someone's paid. I'm afraid they are yes cards, but I haven't got to the outcome yet. It's like there's an inevitable in the immediate future. So I talked about before the end of the year. I think the viewer mentioned September or October. There's an inevitability about some sort of violent happening again in the UK. The Page of Swords, treason, traitor. Again, it points to young people. And we get disappointment, 3 cups lost, 1 cup remaining. The race rights were brought under control. What else are they trying to do to destabilize? And we get the Queen of Coins in the hopes and fears. Again, the economy, stability, disruption. And then we get the 6 of Swords. It's to place blame on immigrants. It's something to do with all that whole subject again. And we get the 8 of Swords, which is fear. And we get the 2 of Cups. Okay, so it is as I thought. I'm just going to say yes. Yes, it could be some kind of attack. It could look like it's being done by immigrants. But there's something very nefarious here. There's certainly money changing hands. And all is not what it seems. We get the Knight of Swords. The truth will emerge. It's like they're allied with somebody else. I'm just going to draw it because this is important. There's the money changing hands. It's already being planned right now. I'm hoping the authorities get onto this now because it is in the planning stage. The Knight of Wands moving forward, and then somebody being, again, money changing hands. The Hierophant card may be suggesting that if there were, and I'm fallible, I could be right, I could be wrong, but if there was some kind of bomb that went off, it could be around a government building, a major I get like almost like a church image, but a court even, some kind of institution. Let's just clarify that. And I certainly don't want to alarm people. I want, the authorities could well be on top of this and thwart this attack. And yes, I saw the orb. That's a good indication that the authorities may already be on top of what is being planned. So, what else can you tell me? Will the attack be stopped? Will the attack be stopped or mitigated? I think there was an attack in recent history. I think it was around or within the vicinity of the Parliament, and through prompt action, the worst was avoided. But we get overseas influence, and something to do with the past, and then loss. Again, this anti-immigrant asylum-seeking sentiment, and I'm passing no judgment on that, but violence is never the answer. We get the 10 of Swords. And yeah, okay, so it's the same energy that has been around the race riots. It's the same energy that's been around the disenchantment in the UK in recent years. It's around the economy, moving into recession. It's around people really struggling. There's all of these issues, but in this instance, somebody is taking advantage of that and literally manipulating it. So I hope the authorities can mitigate this. I think anyone in major cities at this time of global unrest needs to be very cautious, avoid public gatherings in the next little while. Wait until the dust settles in the US election, because there's a connection between what's going on in the UK and the US. Okay, that answers that question, and please stay safe, everybody. Just be cautious. If you don't need to go into town to do something, and you can do it in your own local community, or you can do it online, then do that. Maybe skip the festival in September, October in the UK. Just stay safe. Use your common sense. This is fairly volatile at this time in both the UK and the US. All right, the earthquake activity, I want to just look at that, and then we'll finish this reading. Okay, I've actually been travelling. I've had my sister visiting and I've been travelling, and I've been visiting relatives, and I think I might have slightly overdone things. But guess what? I had a lovely time. All right. So I think I've picked up a little bit of a cold, which is not unusual for me. All right. The seismic activity. All right, let's go right through. We've had, I think, Hurricane Francine in Louisiana. That's already hit landfall. Strong gusts of winds. I think it was downgraded. But the earthquakes, multiple earthquakes in Australia, big earthquakes in the UK. So I'm using the Guardian of the Night Tarot. All right, I just want to focus on one thing, seismic activity, because that's what we're seeing the uptick in. Big earthquake in Russia, another earthquake in, well, it was Portugal, I think. Portugal? All right. Let's have a look. Will the seismic activity increase? Will we be seeing more earthquakes in the next, just let's look at the next month to 2 months in the short term. Will there be more major earthquakes in the next 2 months? Will there be major earthquakes wherever they are in the world? Will there be more major earthquakes? There could be in the sea as well. And of course, then we get the danger of tsunamis. So somewhere in the ocean where ships are, I don't know. There's always this connection to mining and drilling. And all right, so will there be more major earthquakes around the world in the next 2 months? Will there be more major earthquakes across the world in the next 2 months? Major earthquakes next 2 months. All right, the Three of Pentacles. That can mean skill coming together to work something out. And then we get the Two of Pentacles. So I mentioned the ocean. Again, money, mining. What are we doing? What are we doing and expecting the earth just to take this? The Tower card. I'm sorry, but there is going to be major earthquakes across the globe, and you'll say, where? Well, there's an ocean aspect to this as well. The Tower card predicts it's a shake-up. It's like the earth shaking up. Tectonic plates, fault lines, wherever there's major fault lines, there's movement. There's movement, a lot of movement. There's the Tower card. Yeah, there's just this things being moved and structures falling. In other words, well, that's the literal the literal meaning of the Tower card. But it remakes something. The Seven of Cups in the past, choices. What have we chosen? The Lovers card. The Lovers card, relationships. Interesting, these are scorpions here. And of course, scorpions have a sting in their tail. And that looks like a, what are they called? Is it a mantis in the ocean? Very much, I mean, this is an earth scene, but I just get the draw to water here. Page of Cups, we're looking at a surprise, something happening that we're not foreseeing at this time. We get the Hermit card, introspection, review, the quiet stillness of something. And then we get the Ace of Swords, the truth emerging, clarity emerging. So I don't see where we're starting to put together and join the dots that the kind of activity that we are carrying out in our oceans, in our earth, whether it's fracking or mining, for the resources that we need, we're assuming that has no impact. We get the Sun card and we get global, the currents changing, global warming in the hopes and fears. It's also joy and happiness, but in the fear, it can be what will rob us of that. It's always at the back of our minds. The Page of Swords here, it's one of the outcome cards clarified by the Four of Pentacles. Something that will affect, and then the Eight of Wands, yeah. Something, also Mars moving into Cancer as well. It's like, what is Mars and Cancer combining? You know, there's like an eruption. Something happening very, very quickly. Something that will affect, have a monetary impact. And then we have the Six of Wands, victory. Victory. And the Magician. Okay, so in a way, nothing is without consequences. What we do here on this earth has a consequence. And the Four of Cups we get. Again, just getting the draw to water. So, Seven of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So, it could be in the ocean, but it's something that has a monetary impact on something. It affects, I don't know, mining operations, perhaps drilling. But the answer is yes. It's almost inevitable that we're likely to see another major earthquake or earthquakes in the next couple of months. So I've narrowed it down. That was the question, in the next 2 months. Perhaps we get an indication of what is to come within the next 2 months, but this seems pretty imminent. All right, and I get a big draw to the ocean. All right, we'll leave that there. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye for now.